Hello and welcome friend. In this tutorial we will look at random numbers. So random numbers are something which you will use while creating many of the shell script. Random numbers are generated by the system using a device called DevURandom, and we don't need to understand or learn how it is getting created because there is a kernel program, kernel modules for generating the random number. It is quite complex and it involves some mathematical challenges, and this is beyond the scope of this tutorial, but at least we can demonstrate the use of the random number. So by default, if you want to generate one random number, maybe because of you want to sleep for random amount of time, or maybe you want to rename a file with some random digits, so there is a variable called random, and this is environment variable. By default it keeps generating the random number and pushing to this variable, and it should be all in capital. It's a capitalized, you cannot have random like this, so it should be all capital. So if you run here you will see a random number. So if you see here, first 23721 was generated, next time 2294, and then again you will generate it as many times you wish to, as long as there are sufficient randomness in the system. So we will generate one random number. Now let's suppose given a requirement that you need to generate a random number which is between 1 to 1000. Now if you run here, if you see here, if we generate echo dollar random, it is like 20,000 something, 23,000, probably it could be larger than this, but we want to have between 1 to 1000. So what I do is I create a for loop and I will do it 20 times. I could do it 5 times or 10 times, depends upon your use case, but I am doing 20 times. And then I'm echoing the random number, and what I have to do is to generate the random number between 1 to 1000. What I do is I do a modulo operation with 1000. So that means anything more than 1000 would be just chopped off, so it will not get created. So I will run this. Now let's try to run this program and see the output. So if you see here, all the outputs I get is less than 1000. The highest I got is probably 999, but it's less than 1000. I never get more than 1000. If I run it again it will same thing. Now if I modify it, and suppose you have a requirement in your program to sleep for a random amount of time, but that time should not be very large. It should be around 10 seconds approximately. So you cannot have a random number around 999. You cannot sleep for 999 seconds, which would be too large. So you can run like this. So sometimes you can sleep for 2 seconds, sometimes 5, sometimes 9, sometimes 8, something like this. And of course when you have less than 10, so random number 10, and you generating 20 times, there will be collision, that's for sure. So you will have the same random number generated again and again if the limit is very less. Now let's suppose 100 is reasonably okay. I generated 100 less than 100 random numbers and 20 times. Now I am creating a file. Suppose I have a file, this maybe fruit list, and I want to create 20 of them. So I would say for I in sequence 1 to 20, and then I say copy fruit list to fruit list underscore dollar random. So whatever random number we were having, we can substitute there. So we go there in the random region and just substitute that. And here what I would say is copy fruit list to this. I can keep it as a variable var equals to something, and I would substitute here underscore dollar var. Now what it will do, it will generate a random number, and it will then create a file, copy this file and just create a new file with that random number. So I can have a file name with random number. It should not be sequential. Now it's done, and you see here I have a fruit list 84, fruit list 62, fruit list 34. So many times if you are doing some kind of automation testing or maybe performance testing and you want to generate a file of random type, random size, those kind of things, you can use random number generator and probably use just echo random dollar, make it into different construct and serve your purpose. So this script I'm just showing that you can utilize random number in some of your programming concept. Thank you all for watching this video, and I hope to see you in the next video. You have a nice time. Bye bye.